To let go is to release the images and emotions, the grudges and fears, the clinging and disappointments of the past.
Ever wondered why some dreams actually come true, while others just stay distant fantasies? What's the difference between a fleeting thought and something you can really hold? Is there a secret key? Some ancient code that lets you turn your thoughts into real things? Your desires into your destiny? Get ready, because we're about to pull back the curtain. For ages, we've been told seeing is believing. But what if it's the other way around? What if by visualizing with all your might, you pave the way for reality to bend to your will? We're not just talking about daydreaming here, but building the blueprint of your life, that secret plan buried in your subconscious, just waiting to be activated. Picture your mind as rich soil, ready to take the seeds of your deepest desires. But watch out! A seed planted without clarity, without the nourishment of consistency and the warmth of vibrant emotions, will never bloom. You've got to water that vision every day, feel the excitement of it coming true, and weed out the doubts and skepticism. Keep an eye out for signs, for disguised opportunities that pop up in response to what you're asking for. The universe is on the side of those who dare to dream big and act with purpose. Every step, every decision, every little win is a brick in the foundation of your future. Believe it, even when the journey feels tough and the results are slow to show. Don't get the wrong idea. Visualizing isn't some magic trick. It's mental training, rewiring yourself for success. It's the alchemical blend of vision and action, the cosmic dance between wanting something and making it happen. Get ready to master this ancient art and turn your life into a symphony of achievements. You hold the power to create your own reality. Ever feel like you're shipwrecked in a sea of possibilities, lost in currents of doubt and waves of uncertainty? Ever wonder why some people build empires while you're struggling to build a sandcastle that washes away with the tide? The answer, my friend, isn't out there, in circumstances or luck, but right here, in the fertile ground of your mind, waiting to be cultivated. But how do you turn that inner garden into a powerhouse of manifestation, able to attract everything you desire? How do you crack the secret code that turns dreams into something you can actually touch? The truth is, we've been conditioned to think we're victims of fate, puppets on a string. We've been taught to look outside for answers, when the compass guiding our way has always been inside us. But how do you wake up that sleeping compass? How do you tune your mind to the frequency of abundance and achievement? You have to unlearn to relearn, deconstruct to rebuild, silence the outside noise to hear the voice echoing from within. Imagine your mind is like a crystal-clear lake. When the surface is whipped up by strong winds and storms, the reflection is distorted and confusing. But when the water calms down, the landscape is revealed in all its beauty and clarity. In the same way, when we quiet the storm of negative thoughts and limiting beliefs, our vision of the future becomes clear and inspiring. But how do you calm the waters of your mind? How do you reach the state of stillness and focus needed to manifest your desires? The key is visualization, not as a mere technique, but as a sacred art, a ritual of connecting with our divine essence. By visualizing with intensity and emotion, we're sending a clear and unmistakable signal to the universe, a request that echoes in the depths of the cosmos and attracts to us the opportunities, the people, and the circumstances needed to make it happen. But how do you turn visualization into a powerful force capable of shaping our reality? You have to go beyond superficial images and selfish desires. You have to dive into the depths of your being, connect with your most authentic values, and visualize a future that not only benefits you but also contributes to the well-being of the world. When we align our dreams with a greater purpose, the energy of the universe flows through us, propelling us toward our life's mission. But how do you discover your purpose? How do you align your dreams with your soul? Ever feel like a powerful river blocked from flowing by a dam of fears and insecurities? Ever wonder why abundance flows so easily to some while you're struggling in a sea of scarcity and limitations? The answer, my friend, isn't a lack of resources or opportunities, but the invisible barriers you've built in your mind, blocking the natural flow of prosperity. But how do you tear down those barriers? How do you unleash the unlimited potential within you? The truth is, we've been programmed to believe we're not worthy, that happiness and success are privileges reserved for a chosen few. We've been conditioned to live in a state of lack and competition, when abundance is the natural state of the universe, available to everyone who opens themselves up to receive it. But how do you reprogram your mind for abundance? How do you free yourself from the limiting beliefs that imprison you? You have to challenge your own certainties, question your own fears, and dare to believe you're capable of achieving your most audacious dreams. Imagine your mind is like a lush garden. If you plant seeds of doubt, fear, and negativity, you'll harvest bitter and scarce fruits. But if you cultivate seeds of faith, hope, and gratitude, you'll reap an abundant and flavorful harvest. In the same way, if you feed your mind with positive thoughts and inspiring visualizations, you'll attract rich and rewarding experiences into your life. But how do you turn your mind into a fertile garden? How do you cultivate the seeds of success and happiness? The key is consistency, discipline, and perseverance. It's not enough to visualize your dreams once in a while. You have to turn visualization into a daily habit, a sacred ritual that strengthens your connection with your higher self and nourishes your soul. By visualizing regularly and intensely, you're sending a clear message to the universe, a commitment that you're willing to do whatever it takes to achieve your dreams. But how do you maintain discipline and motivation over time? How do you overcome the obstacles and difficulties that inevitably arise on your path? You have to surround yourself with people who support you, who inspire you, and who encourage you to keep going. You have to seek knowledge, learn from your mistakes, and celebrate your achievements. And above all, you have to trust yourself, believe in your potential, and never give up on your dreams. When you stay true to your vision, the universe conspires in your favor, opening doors and creating opportunities you never thought possible. But how do you find the inner strength to overcome challenges? How do you maintain faith when everything seems lost? Ever feel like a dormant seed, buried in arid and sterile soil? Ever wonder why your life seems stagnant, without progress or achievement? The answer, my friend, isn't a lack of talent or potential, but a lack of nourishment and care. Just as a seed needs water, light, and warmth to germinate and flourish, you need knowledge, inspiration, and action to awaken your maximum potential. But how do you find the source of nourishment that will make you flourish? How do you turn your life into a masterpiece of achievement? The truth is, we've been taught to conform, to take the easy path, and to avoid risks. We've been conditioned to live in a state of mediocrity and stagnation when our potential is infinite and our capacity to create is limitless. But how do you break with this cycle of conformity? How do you free yourself from the chains of mediocrity and dare to live an extraordinary life? You have to challenge the status quo, question the established norms, and follow your own path, even if it's different from the path of the majority. Imagine your life is like a blank canvas. You can choose to paint a dark and monotonous picture, or you can create a vibrant and inspiring work of art. The choice is yours. You have the power to transform your reality, to shape your destiny, and to create the life you've always dreamed of. But how do you turn your life into a masterpiece? How do you express your maximum potential? And how do you leave your mark on the world? The key is in action, in the courage to step out of your comfort zone and pursue your dreams with passion and determination. It's not enough to visualize your goals. You have to act, take the first step, even if it's small and uncertain. Every action, every effort, every small victory brings you closer to your final goal. But how do you find the courage to act? How do you overcome the fear of failure and rejection? Ever feel like a dormant seed, buried in arid and sterile soil? Ever wonder why your life seems stagnant, without progress or achievement? The answer, my friend, isn't a lack of talent or potential, but a lack of nourishment and care. Just as a seed needs water, light, and warmth to germinate and flourish, you need knowledge, inspiration, and action to awaken your maximum potential. But how do you find the source of nourishment that will make you flourish? How do you turn your life into a masterpiece of achievement? The truth is, we've been taught to conform, to take the easy path, and to avoid risks. We've been conditioned to live in a state of mediocrity and stagnation when our potential is infinite and our capacity to create is limitless. But how do you break with this cycle of conformity? How do you free yourself from the chains of mediocrity and dare to live an extraordinary life? You have to challenge the status quo, question the established norms, and follow your own path, even if it's different from the path of the majority. Imagine your life is like a blank canvas. You can choose to paint a dark and monotonous picture, or you can create a vibrant and inspiring work of art. The choice is yours. You have the power to transform your reality, to shape your destiny, and to create the life you've always dreamed of. But how do you turn your life into a masterpiece? How do you express your maximum potential? And how do you leave your mark on the world? The key is in action, in the courage to step out of your comfort zone and pursue your dreams with passion and determination. It's not enough to visualize your goals. You have to act, take the first step, even if it's small and uncertain. Every action, every effort, every small victory brings you closer to your final goal. But how do you find the courage to act? How do you overcome the fear of failure and rejection? You have to remember that failure isn't the opposite of success, but an essential part of the process. Each failure is an opportunity to learn, to grow, and to become stronger. And rejection isn't a reflection of your worth, but an indication that you're on the right path, challenging your limits and seeking your truth. When you allow yourself to fail and be rejected, you become invincible, unstoppable, and capable of achieving anything you desire. But how do you turn failure into learning? How do you overcome rejection and keep your self-esteem intact? Ever feel like a ghost in your own life, wandering aimlessly, without purpose, without the fire that drives you to pursue your dreams? Ever wonder why happiness always seems to be out of reach, like a mirage in the desert that moves further away with every step you take? The answer, my friend, isn't in the relentless pursuit of fleeting pleasures or the conquest of material possessions, but in the rediscovery of your divine essence, in the reconnection with your soul, which cries out for expression and fulfillment. But how do you silence the noise of the outside world and listen to the voice of your heart? How do you find your way back to yourself, to your deepest truth? The truth is, we've been taught to conform to the expectations of others, to sacrifice our dreams in the name of security and social approval. We've been conditioned to believe that we're incomplete, that we need something or someone to feel full and happy. But happiness isn't a destination to be reached, but a state of being, a conscious choice to live in alignment with your values, with your talents, with your purpose. But how do you break free from the chains of conformity and dare to live an authentic life, a life that reflects your true nature? Imagine your life is like a musical instrument. If you don't tune it, it will produce dissonant and unpleasant sounds. But if you tune it with care and mastery, it will emit harmonious and enchanting melodies. In the same way, if you don't align your mind, your body, and your spirit, you'll live in a state of conflict and suffering. But if you align them with love and attention, you'll experience the peace, the joy, and the abundance that have always been within your reach. But how do you tune your inner instrument? How do you harmonize the different dimensions of your being? The key lies in the practice of mindfulness, in the ability to be present in the present moment without judgment or resistance. By observing your thoughts, your emotions, and your physical sensations with curiosity and compassion, You become aware of the patterns that imprison you and the beliefs that limit you. And, by freeing yourself from those patterns and beliefs, you open space for the new, for the unexpected, for the miracle that resides in every instant. But how do you cultivate mindfulness? How do you live in the present and enjoy the beauty and magic of life? You have to slow down, breathe deeply, and connect with your essence. You have to silence the mind, open the heart, and trust in the wisdom of your body. You have to abandon the need for control, embrace uncertainty, and surrender to the flow of life. And, by doing so, you'll discover that happiness isn't something you seek, but something you already are, something that resides within you, waiting to be awakened. But how do you awaken the happiness that resides within you? How do you live a full and meaningful life? Ever feel like a lonely tree, struggling against the wind and the storm, without deep roots to sustain you, and without strong branches to protect you? Ever wonder why life seems so difficult, so unfair, so full of obstacles and challenges? The answer, my friend, isn't in the search for magical solutions or in waiting for a miracle, but in building a solid foundation, in creating a support system that strengthens you and propels you to keep going. But how do you create that foundation? How do you build that support system? How do you transform your life into a safe haven, a place where you feel loved, accepted, and valued? The truth is, we've been taught to be independent, to solve our problems alone, to hide our weaknesses, and to project an image of perfection. We've been conditioned to believe that asking for help is a sign of weakness, that showing vulnerability is a risk to be avoided. But strength doesn't lie in the ability to endure everything alone, but in the courage to ask for help, in the humility to recognize your limitations, and in the wisdom to surround yourself with people who love you and support you. But how do you build healthy and meaningful relationships? How do you create a support network that propels you to grow and evolve? Imagine your life is like a sports team. If each player acts individually, without cooperation or synergy, the team will perform poorly and not achieve its goals. But if the players work together, trusting each other, communicating openly, and supporting each other mutually, the team will become unbeatable and conquer all its dreams. In the same way, if you isolate yourself from the world and try to solve your problems alone, you'll feel overwhelmed and frustrated. But if you connect with other people, share your experiences, ask for advice, and offer support, you'll feel energized and strengthened. But how do you find people who inspire you, who challenge you, and who love you unconditionally? The key is to be authentic, to show yourself as you really are, without masks or pretenses. By revealing your vulnerability, you attract people who identify with your truth and who accept you as you are, with your qualities and your flaws. And, by connecting with those people, you create deep and lasting bonds that nourish you and sustain you throughout your journey. But how do you overcome the fear of rejection and dare to show your true face? How do you break free from the chains of comparison and embrace your individuality? You have to love yourself, accept your imperfections, and celebrate your achievements. You have to forgive your mistakes, learn from your experiences, and move forward with confidence and hope. And you have to remember that you're unique, special, and valuable, and that you deserve to be loved and accepted for who you are. When you love and accept yourself, you become irresistible to others, and you attract into your life people who love you and value you in the same way. But how do you love yourself unconditionally? How do you transform your self-criticism into self-compassion? Ever feel like a dammed river, prevented from following its natural course and fulfilling its purpose? Ever wonder why your life seems so empty, so meaningless, so devoid of passion and purpose? The answer, my friend, isn't in the search for external recognition or in the conquest of power and fame, but in the discovery of your life's mission, in the identification of your unique talent, and in the use of that talent to serve others and make a difference in the world. But how do you find your life's mission? How do you discover your unique talent? And how do you use it to create a positive impact on the world? The truth is, we've been taught to follow a predefined path, to seek a secure job, and to build a stable career. We've been conditioned to believe that success is measured by the money we earn, by the status we achieve, and by the power we exercise. But true success isn't in what we conquer, but in what we contribute, in the legacy we leave, and in the impact we have on people's lives. But how do you break free from the chains of unbridled ambition and dare to follow your passion? How do you transform your work into an act of love and service? Imagine your life is like a garden. If you plant seeds of selfishness, greed, and competition, you'll harvest bitter and scarce fruits. But if you cultivate seeds of generosity, compassion, and collaboration, you'll reap an abundant and flavorful harvest. In the same way, if you use your talents to serve others and to make the world a better place, you'll feel fulfilled and happy. But how do you transform your talent into an instrument of service? How do you contribute to a more just, more humane, and more sustainable world? The key is to identify your values, to discover what's really important to you, and to align your actions with those values. By living in alignment with your values, you feel whole and authentic, and you attract into your life opportunities that allow you to express your talent and fulfill your mission. But how do you identify your values? How do you prioritize what's really important to you? And how do you align your actions with your values? You have to reflect on your experiences, identify the moments when you felt most alive and fulfilled, and analyze the common characteristics of those moments. You have to ask yourself what moves you, what inspires you, and what makes you feel passionate about life. And you have to remember that you're not alone on this journey, that there are millions of people who share your values and who are willing to collaborate to create a better world. When you join those people, you feel part of something bigger, and you find the strength and the inspiration to keep going, even in the face of the most difficult challenges. But how do you connect with people who share your values? How do you collaborate to create a better world? And how do you transform your passion into a life purpose? And now, as silence fills the space between us, I invite you to contemplate the journey we've taken together. A journey that has led us from the depths of doubt to the clarity of vision, from the shadows of fear to the light of hope, from the aridity of loneliness to the fertility of connection. A journey that has revealed to us that the power to transform our reality lies within us, in our ability to silence the mind, open the heart, and trust in the wisdom of the soul. Remember the seeds we planted along the way, the clarity of intention, the consistency of practice, the engagement of the senses, the acceptance of the subconscious, the attention to opportunities, the action aligned with the vision, and the patience in the process. Water those seeds with love and gratitude, and watch them bloom into an abundant harvest of joy, peace, and prosperity. Visualize your future with the force of 1,000 suns. Feel the emotion of imminent fulfillment, and embrace your unlimited potential. You are a unique, special, and valuable being, capable of creating the life you've always dreamed of. Don't settle for less than you deserve. Dare to dream big, dare to act with courage, and dare to be the best version of yourself. And as you walk your path, remember that you're not alone. There is a greater force that guides and protects you, a universe that conspires in your favor, and a community of souls that supports you and loves you unconditionally. Connect with that force, trust in that universe, and unite with that community. Together, we can transform the world into a better place, a place where everyone can live in peace, harmony, and abundance. May the flame of hope that we lit together illuminate your path and inspire you to keep going, even when darkness threatens you. Always remember that you are strong, you are capable, and you are loved. And that, with faith and determination, you can overcome any obstacle and realize any dream. Now, take a deep breath, feel the energy that pulsates within you, and ask yourself, what is the next step you're willing to take to turn your vision into reality? What is the action you can take today to get closer to your goal? What is the seed you can plant to reap a better future? If you felt that something resonated in your heart, that some spark ignited in your soul, I invite you to take the next step. Like this video, share it with those you love, and leave your comment. Share your reflections, your ideas, and your experiences. Together, we can create a wave of positivity that transforms the world. And if you want to deepen your knowledge and accelerate your journey, subscribe to the channel and activate the bell to receive notifications of the next videos. Together, we can awaken the unlimited potential that resides in each of us and create a brighter future for all. Remember, you are the key to the transformation you want to see in the world. And the moment to act is now.